Good morning. How are you? 10 o'clock here in the holistic spiritual community. How are you all? So it's going to be a little bit different this day on Friday. We are going to be looking at creating a really lovely space, creating new fresh energy into your home, into your environment. Now, everything I do when it comes to my business or my work or supporting you guys here in the community is really about me tuning in and understanding what everybody needs and how can I be of service to you. So when it came up that we're going to be talking about creating new energy around you, I thought, oh, this sounds really, really perfect. And the reason being is that we've had 6 weeks of these eclipse seasons where we have changed, evolved, grown in leaps and bounds. So consciously and subconsciously, we've probably been experiencing migraines, tiredness, fatigue, anger, all the emotions, maybe some of the traumas coming up, and then allowing for that to be released. I've been working through karmic patterns. I've been working through karmic patterns on my clients, and it'd be really interesting to see what's been happening for you also. So why are we doing an energy clearing around your environment? So sometimes we are really good at working on ourselves, but do you clear and work on your environment? It's so funny. I've just, when I made myself a herbal tea before coming on to be with you today, and I thought, gosh, yes, my home needs I've got that urge in me today where this weekend I'm going to have another massive cull and decluttering and things like that around the home, because our environment, our space is an extension of us. It's part of our personality, but also we can also share it with other people as well. And I don't know about you, but I do a lot of inner work on myself. I don't necessarily do much on my husband, and sometimes their energies need to be cleared out of the home. My husband works from home also, and I went into his study this morning to have a chat with him about what our plans were for the rest of the day, what we needed to achieve. And someone's laughing at me. I'm actually using StreamYard, so I don't know who's here. So if you want to put in the comments in Facebook your name and who it is, then it'd be great to have a conversation with you rather than just seeing these laughy emojis. But yeah, I went into his office and I thought, yes, this needs a bit of energy clearing as well. So the home, the environment is an extension of us, not only in our home, but in our garden, and if any of you are into Feng Shui or study the practice of Feng Shui, everything is energy. Our homes are the extension of ourselves. And, some of us are wanting to work on abundance. Some of us are wanting to call in more money, create a business, step into a business, or maybe show up in a different way, or look at our health. And it really comes down to, is your environment supporting you in this transformation and process? Have you got things around you that is supporting that transformation? It's Stephanie. Hi, love. Oh, I'm so, look at you go. You're a superstar. What is it, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning for you? Is your environment supporting you? We talk a lot about the power of 5 people, the closest 5 people around you. Are they supporting you? Because you are a makeup of those 5 people. So, I really want to, in this masterclass, my whole point of it is to really start to get you thinking or rethinking, because some of you do know this type of practice anyway, about, okay, where are my goals going to? What do I want to achieve? And is my environment supporting that? So we're going to do a little bit of talking, and I'm going to share with you the sort of things that I do in my home. Now, I've moved multiple times, and in the last, I would say 5 years, I have bought and sold property to be able to be financially free. Now, I'm not saying that to be egotistical. I'm saying that to be your home, by doing practices within your home, your environment can be very abundant. Okay. So it's making sure that, are your furniture, do you need to declutter? What's your home like? Do you need to have a reorganization of that so that energetically you feel cool, calm, confident, inspired, nurtured, supported, in order to fill your wishes and dreams? So let's take an instance. If you're working on your health goals, is your kitchen, because that's where your food is stored, that's where you are preparing hopefully nutritious meals in order to help support you in your health goals. I know when I've worked in some of my group training programs with clients over the years, the first thing I get them to do is to just go in their kitchen and declutter everything, go through their pantry. How old is their food? Is that food supporting their health and well-being, and things like that? Also go through your pots and pans. Are they low tox? It could be great that you're doing all these supplements, but if you're cooking with utensils that do give off toxic substances, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's just another way of thinking. And it wasn't until I learned this practice that I thought, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I spent my whole life literally in the hair and beauty industry. My mum was a hairdresser, so 2 weeks old, I was in the carry cot out the back of the salon in the 1970s and 80s. So can you imagine what the toxins and the cigarettes and the bleaches and everything like that did for me? So I've spent a lot of time, around chemicals and things like that. So that actually doesn't help you with your energy either. So, we're going to be talking about energy within the home and clearing your space and making sure your environment, but that's twofold. Is your environment of your body, good? Does that need changing? I saw a massive difference when it came to my skin. I suffered with really bad adult acne from the age of 30 onwards, and my skin just went on leaps and bounds, obviously when I took the supplements, but also when it came to going low tox with my makeup and my skincare. And I had, I do have beauty professionals say to me, gosh, you've got really good skin. And I was like, yeah, but the big difference was to go low tox with my makeup and my skincare. So yeah, and obviously my hair care and stuff like that. So we're around toxins and chemicals. So that's going to reduce our energy levels. So, go through and have a look in your home and see, out of date products and things like that. Is it time to have a massive declutter in that area? So decluttering is great at the moment. Ideally, it would have been good. You might have been finding that over the last few weeks that you naturally want to start decluttering your home, because we have changed on a cellular level over these like eclipse seasons. And this year is a year where it's the 7 number. So it's the 2 plus the 0 plus the 2. Sorry, someone's just messaging me. The 2023 adds up to a 7 number. So 7 number is really about being connected to soul and being guided by soul. So you might find in this process of doing a good energy clear through the home and starting with a declutter that you start to look at possessions and you think, you know what? That's not who I am anymore. That's not what I want to wear. That's not what I want to eat. That's not serving me in my highest and best. You may be a person at the moment that might be thinking that you actually do need to change your diet. Because we've all changed and evolved, our energy frequencies have changed. It's probably the easiest way to explain it like this. Our energy frequencies have changed. So foods that aren't really supporting you through this transformation and process of this year, you might need to look at a different type of diet. So, whether that's going vegetarian, whether that's going vegan, more plant-based, you know, whatever you start to feel, that is a process of what's supposed to be happening this year. This year also is quite interesting from a feng shui point of view. Is, you know, in feng shui, our home, our environment is split up into different grids. It's 9 grids in the home. I'm not a feng shui expert, but this is how I sort of get my head around it and understand it. And each box out of the 9 in the big box basically represents a different area in our life. So what has come up this year in feng shui for all of us to have a look at is actually our health and well-being sector. Last year it was relationships, it was heart and wisdom and knowledge. Those were the 3 sectors that flagged up last year. You can just Google some of this information and you'll get a lot more knowledge from someone that's a real expert. The other person that I like to connect with is a woman called Tracy Peck, and her business is a home with soul. So she is a feng shui expert. I actually did a YouTube interview with her a couple of years ago, and I've done some of her workshops as well. And she talks about, you know, the different sectors, what is up this year for renewal. So this year is all about health. So a lot of people are focusing on their health and well-being. So it might be something that you're being proactive about, looking at your health and well-being, or it could be something has happened, an illness has happened, or a circumstance has happened that you Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to hotspot off my phone. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. Just going to turn my volume down. I've got it going on Facebook as well, just so I can see who's there. Okay, I'm back. So we've got Pina, hi Marnie, and beautiful Stephanie all the way from the UK. So yes, so the health and wellbeing sector is up for looking at this year. So, you know, a lot of us need to have a look at our own health and wellbeing. So, okay, decluttering. So I know, Pina, you are now officially, I'm going to crown you the queen of the decluttering. Pina's done really well over the last few years. And, you know, decluttering is one of those things that is always going on. Okay, there's probably never a day where you're not having to try and sort things out and get some sort of organization. Why I say decluttering is really good. First reason is, if you imagine that everything that we have and that we are is energy, and if you put your home, all your contents, your family into like an energy bubble, okay, imagine how full does that feel, okay? And then you start asking the universe for more. I desire more money, I desire this, I desire that. You can see that your energy container can only take so much. What do you have to do? You have to make space. Stephanie's saying it's too full. Yes. And what do you need to do? You need to let go of things. All right. So with me being a constant mover, I do love a skip. Okay, in Australia we have something called a blue crock, which is like a massive, massive IKEA bag, and there's nothing better than filling one of those blue crock bags. I tell you, I get lots of pleasure out of that. I have grown up in a house where my mum has things. She's very sentimental and holds on to things. They have lived in the same house for 41 years. Okay. I am the complete polar opposite. I find it very refreshing to actually declutter and let go. It actually, for me, and it might resonate with you, is that it actually frees my mind. If I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, I actually start decluttering. It can actually bring in more abundance for you, because if you've got the container that you can hold X amount, this energy bubble, right, and you start letting things go, what you're going to do is you'll want to fill that energy bubble up again. It's just natural part of that process. So you're going to call in new abundance. So some of the things that I do in relation to wanting business and clients is that, and I used to do this when I was a hairdresser as well, I would go through all my records. So back in the day, I'm old school. We used to have record cards with, clients' formulation and stuff like that. And when I hadn't seen someone for a little while, I would start to move them into an outbox as such. And it would naturally open up, a vortex for me to bring in new clients. The same with my appointment book as well. If I wanted to open up my calendar for new people to come in, I actually make space. I actually think, yeah, no, that's a space there. I could fit 2 clients in there. I could do this, do that. And I still do that process today. I make sure that my emails that I run to a 0 inbox. So I will spend a lot of time just going through and making sure for a few minutes every day, every morning, that I go through and, clear them out. I'm not religious over it, but I do try and make sure that I'm on top of it. And it also helps me to go back and remember if I've forgotten anything as well. If I want new clients to come into my business, I know some of you are healers as well, so I'm sort of sharing these tips, is that I actually get folders, okay, and I put client 1, client 2, 3, 4. So if I want, sort of 10 VIP clients, that I'll do VIP 1 to 10, and I'll just send a message to the universe that, hello, this is, I'm opening my books for new clients. You'll see that in a lot of my emails that, you're part of my email list, that, I've just opened up 2 spaces for June. So, I'm sending a message out to the universe is I've made space, I've decluttered, now I'm ready to take in new people. So I do that type of process. I do the same with my wardrobe as well. So I used to be an image consultant, so wardrobe decluttering for clients, and I used to love doing that process as well. So every 6 months I go into my wardrobe, because the seasons start to change. I will go through and I will say, I'll look at every single item of clothing, and I will think, yeah, is it okay? Is there any rips, any pulls, any tears? Do I need to keep it? Does it need to be replaced? Does it need to be recycled, or does it go to the charity shop? And I have my bags laid out, and then I do that whole process. And I also look at it from an emotional point of view. Is this who I am now? Because we are always growing and evolving and changing. And some of you have known me for a long time, have seen the evolution. You know, I've had short hair, I've had shaved bits down the side, I've had it really long, I've been blonder, I've been black, you know, black hair, lots of different looks, because I am a bit of a chameleon, so I do like to change my style up. I find that very creative, and I love that type of thing. So I will go through my clothes and think, is this my style? Is this what my image is like? Is this who I want to portray now? So, you know, I do go through that process. Is this making me feel good? Because, you know, when you feel good, you are more likely to eat the right foods. You're more likely to feel confident. You're more likely to show up. You know, it has a real knock-on effect. You know, positive mindset, positive feelings, look good, feel good. Yes, you just look that. Yeah. I like change. We're all here to change, grow, evolve, and learn. That's the whole process. I actually used to say to my clients years ago, you've had that haircut for far too long. Now it's time for change. And it doesn't always mean like it was a big transformation. It might have been, you know, they need a fringe, or they need a few lighter pieces in the front, or they need to go slightly lighter with their hair and things like that. Because, you know, it gives you that boost, doesn't it? A little bit of a change, a little bit of a makeover in your environment, you or your home, makes you feel good. And things like that. So, you know, going through your wardrobe, going through that process of decluttering and things like that. Less boring too. Yeah. And Stephanie, I know you love going vintage shopping. When I'm next in London, whenever that will be, you and I are catching up. We're going to have a beautiful lunch. We're going to go to Fortnum and Mason. We're going to have a beautiful lunch, and you're going to take me vintage shopping, because I love that type of alternative shopping as well. So I love your style that you do things like that. It looks really good. I love the waistcoat that you had on the other day, the French waistcoat, because I saw that you went to that French vintage shop. So yeah, amazing. So, you know, we're always growing and evolving, and we need to change. We need to declutter. We can only take so much energy on. But what happens is that we face resistance, okay? So resistance, when you are feeling resistance to something, this is how it shows up. I've got some notes here. So we can give ourselves that information that we're too busy. Oh, I'm too busy to do this. Oh, I'm too busy to do that. Procrastination, okay? I was a too busy person, and I would just make more work to be too busy because I didn't want to face things. Procrastination, and that leads to not taking action. Okay. Feelings of resistance is that you can't decide. You're not feeling empowered, so you can't decide whether you want this or you want that. You want to do this, you want to do that. So that is resistance. You lose interest. You can be forgetful as well, disorganized. You can fog up, you can space out, you can make excuses. Feeling of impatientness as well. That's also a sign of resistance. And you can also sometimes get things to hold you back in moving forward, is that you can manifest people putting you down, which is quite interesting. So we've spoken about decluttering, making space within your environment to allow new in. Decluttering is amazing for creating flow of money as well, just to say. So, you know, when you're decluttering, have a look. Do I need to sell it? Do I need to put it to the charity shop? I have a rule of thumb that if I put it onto the, you know, like the buy, swap and sell sites, you know, and things like that, I don't think anyone really does eBay anymore. But if it hasn't sold within X amount of, you know, what I envisage, then it goes to the charity shop. You know, it then goes out. And I was having a conversation with a client a few years ago that, you know, sometimes that item actually does need to go to the charity shop, because it's someone through the charity shop that item is designed for. But it doesn't mean that the universe is not going to bless you in another way. It might be that the universe blesses you by someone buying you lunch. It might be that someone you get a gift card, you get a present, and things like that. So don't always think that you have to sell everything. Sometimes, you know, at the end of the day, the universe is the one that holds the purse strings, and it's the universe that brings you your abundance. So sometimes we have to just let things go in the most loving and easy way for something else to come back in. And if you can, yeah, the hospice, yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of, out here in Australia, Stephanie, we have a lot of mums in need and things like that. So I remember one person, the whole house burnt down, and our local community did a massive, you know, shout out, and people were just donating for them as well. So yeah, so the universe always keeps track. So sometimes, you know, it's easier to give in the most loving and easy way, and the reason why, because it comes back in the most loving and easy way. So if you think of the law of cause and effect, so if you're just letting that go really, really easily, whether it's to a charity shop or to a friend or whatever, or yes, if it's sold easily, then brilliant. But if you let it go with ease and grace, what's new comes in with ease and grace. So that's another little nugget of information there that I always like to share with people as well. So resistance can show up when you're not ready to let go. So as I said, it was the too busy, the procrastination, not taking action, you can't decide, you lose interest and all of that. So resistance shows up when you're not ready to let go of the past, because decluttering is actually an energetic signal to letting go of old, letting go of the past. So once again, we let go of the past, the new future comes in. And this happens a lot with a lot of people, and it can show up in different ways. It can show up that you're struggling to let go of in your home environment, so taking things to the charity shop, letting go of past memories, and things like that. You never forget what that item has done for you. And sometimes we hold on, especially as women, we hold on to certain clothing, especially if it was our skinny days and we want to be back into that skinny days. The worst thing you can do is hold on to those items of clothing, because all that's doing is punishing you, okay? And it's not allowing you to embrace who you are at this time and who you're evolving into. And I see this a lot with women around different times in their life when they're moving, especially very much heavily involved with women that are moving from like the mother archetype into the wise woman archetype. So that's around the menopause. And this is where sometimes I see a lot of women struggling with menopause issues, is because they're struggling to let go of who they were, and they're not identifying of who they're coming into being. And because our home is an emotional link to who we are, if you are struggling with letting go of things from the past and holding on to like old identities, so your skinny clothes or what you were wearing 10 years ago, you know, there's some items that you always want to keep. You know, I've still got my wedding dress, I've still got my bridesmaid's dress and stuff like that, but rarely do I still have clothes that I've probably got a couple of leather jackets and stuff like that. And in fact, Millie wears them now because they're more, you know, 90s trend for her. But, you know, I do declutter and I move on because I'm embracing the new, I'm bringing in the new, and I'm excited about, you know, how I'm evolving and moving and changing and growing into. So, you know, just to be aware of that. And then if this is you, that you are feeling resistance, this is when I start to invite clients to have a really deep look at why. So once again, it's, you know, getting still, getting into meditation, going and doing your journaling, and, you know, asking yourself that deep question of, okay, why am I resisting this? Why am I resisting that change? And then just see what happens and let it come forward. Some people do need some healing around it. To the charity. Oh dear. Are you motivated now, Stephanie? Because Stephanie, you have gone through a massive transformation in the last, I don't know, when did I speak to you? It literally probably is about 7 weeks ago. We had that conversation, And you can see rapidly how much that's changed. And yeah, we are ready to let go of things and embrace the new. And sometimes we can start to declutter because we're getting ready to for me, I know when I'm having a massive declutter, because I'm either going to renovate a home, so this house is going to be renovated, or I'm going to be moving. So I get that. I naturally start to fall into that category, and actually my kids get really worried when that happens, and they even get even more worried when my husband starts doing it as well. But we've been here, oh gosh, what have we been? December, January, February, March, April, May. So I've actually been here 6 months. Gosh, where's that gone? And I am getting itchy feet now that I want to get the house in the right order, because when my home is organized and is in order and I'm on top of things, it actually has a massive knock-on effect in my business and in my financials as well. So that's the other thing that can happen as well for you. So, if you've got this resistance, I want you to sit there and think of, what am I fearing? Why am I fearing this change? And you know what? It could be the most random thing that comes up when this happens, and it's quite interesting. So, take a deeper look at that. So the other thing that's quite interesting when you're working with people's homes and environments, I'm just going to have a slab of tea. I've been talking loads this morning. I was on a podcast interview at 5:30. I tell you what, my coach Belle, I have a high performance coach Belle, if any of you know her. She just laughs. She says, "Claire, you were never a morning person, whereas now I I need to get things done." So and I'm loving that evolution and change in me. So I want you to have a little think. Now, you might not have a pen and paper, but this is obviously going to go into the portal in Facebook, and it will be pinned to the top. And I might even, if I can technology do it, or I might just get Anne to do it, might put it in as a guide. So go through your environment. So we've talked about resistance, we've talked about decluttering. So imagine that you've done all of that. Then I want you to start thinking about, how do you want your environment to be? How do you want to feel in your environment? So one of the things that I always talk about with my private clients, and I've done it in group programs as well, is that I would love to invite you to create a little bit of a safe space and a sanctuary for yourself. So in my last house, I actually had my own office healing room, and I used to have my own hairdressing salon, and I used to spend hours in there because it was my sanctuary, right? It was a place where I could go, I could decompress. I had all my crystals. And I have got it here in this office, but it's not how I want it set up yet. So it will be all done and dusted. Let's get within 6 months. I'm giving myself a time frame that my office is going to be my little haven. But yes, I mean, I've got all my crystals in here, and I've got patio doors. It was a bedroom, and then it goes out onto my balcony. And then I've got a beautiful sofa in front of that, because in the summer, I like to go out there and get a bit of sun, or winter sun. And then I'm looking out over to the nature reserve. We're back onto a nature reserve, and we've got some mountains in the background. So for me, this is my happy space. So I always encourage my clients to have a sanctuary, ideally not the bedroom. And the reason being is that you actually want the bedroom to be your place that you can rest and rejuvenate, and whatever else you want to happen in that bedroom. So I very rarely, I might do the odd meditation in my bedroom, but if I'm doing more healing work, then I work on myself in this room, with all my crystals and stuff like that. The only time I really meditate in bed is if I'm going to sleep, and I put more of a sleep meditation on. So have you got a space within your home, your environment, that you could call it your little sanctuary? So it might be a chair in a certain position where you feel that you can journal, you can have your crystals around it, you can feel that this is your place, this is where we claim. You know, years ago, we used to have playrooms for the children. That was their like little sanctuary. So where they could, you know, be creative and where they can, you know, connect in with themselves and things like that. So it's quite rare that we actually do have a sanctuary within our home. So, you know, let me know, do you create your own little sanctuary? Because I'd love to invite you to do that. One of my clients, when she first started working with me, she went to IKEA and she bought this lovely big chair with an ottoman. So whenever she has a healing, she sits in her chair and she's got her blanket, and then she's got like her laptop on the side, and then she's got like a journal and everything, and that's her space. And she's like claimed it. And the children aren't allowed to jump on it or anything like that, and it's by her window, so she can look out and has that bit of me time, that bit of nurturing in that space. So yeah, do you have a safe sanctuary space? You know, because that could be something that you would like to set up as well for yourself. Because what happens is that when we share homes with other people, that everybody's bringing their own type of energy. So, you know, as I said earlier, I need to go into Andrew's office and give that a good smudging, and things like that. So, you know, if someone is sitting in your space or things like that, or, you know, if you have an argument, you know, let's face it, we're not all perfect, all right? Some people like a good old argument to clear the air, because once again, it's a declutter, isn't it? The energies within the home can actually hold on to that. I have been into vintage places and like flea markets and stuff like that, and I've actually had to energy clear myself afterwards, because you can actually pick up an item and hold it, and it's got the imprints of other people's energies as well. Same with crystals, you know, you've got to keep clearing your crystals within your environment. I'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, that's why it's good to do the declutter, understand the resistance, and then go through and see what your environment is. So a few ways that you can actually clear your environment. Okay, so I do have the guide. Some of you have already got it, but if you go to the Facebook group, up in the top under guides, it's got the power energy clearing your space. So I've written a mini ebook on that, on how I do it. So there's a few ways that you can clear your environment. So a lot of people understand about smudging and saging. So that is, you know, this is a smudge stick. So it's white sage. Okay, it's non-toxic. And then you just light it and you allow the smoke, the burning of the smoke, to go all the way around the house. Some people do a practice where they go in through the front door and they go a certain, it's either clockwise or anti-clockwise around the house. I don't bother with that. I just literally start to go. And what's interesting is when I did this house, it wasn't too bad, but when I got around the perimeter of the house, because I actually did the outside of the house as well, it was when I got to the front office, my husband, he's downstairs at the front, the smoke was, I was crapping myself a bit, because I thought, oh shit, I'm going to start a fire in a minute, right? My dad's a fireman, so I'm like, I've grown up OCD about fire and stuff like that, freaking out over it. And of course, I'm in a nature reserve, right? We're not supposed to have fires here at all. And I was thinking, oh my God. And we've got bark all around the house. And I was thinking, oh God, please, that's the last thing I want what's I going to say? To the environment. Here we are, bushfires. Claire's set off a bushfire. Anyway, so I'm smudging the front and it was going mad. I was like, gosh, that's so interesting. And then I went to another part of the house, and it was the part where it's the relationship quarter in Feng Shui of the house. And that was going mad. And I was like, okay. So it was really showing me like, okay, where do I need to do some cleansing? Who have I got around me or around us as a family? What needs to like shift and change? And then yeah, sort of the front of the house where Andrew was, that needed a good smudging as well. And when you are in the house as well, just take note of which rooms smoke more, because that's obviously where the clearing needs to happen. You want to open all your windows and just let that lovely breeze blow through. So a good time to do a smudging is around the full moon, because sometimes that actually helps you to remember to actually do it. If you've had some arguments in the home, or there's stress or tension, do a smudging, because it would just clear it, and you can, like a declutter, clear the energies, and you can move on. The other product that you can use is a Palo Santo. Now, I personally prefer this because I find that the smudging actually irritates me from like a sensitivity type of point of view. It really affects my sinuses, that does. And sinuses is actually a sign of people being up your nose. So it's probably, I'm picking up on the energies and stuff like that. But I like Palo Santo because, and once again, you want organic, you want no tox stuff. So just research that, because, some places they're not ethically sourced with purchasing these. So this has a really lovely fragrance. So this is really good at clearing stuff. This is good for setting intentions. So it's a lot softer when you start to smoke this and let it burn. So what you could do if you want to do a big clear out is, do your decluttering, etc. Then do your smoking with the sage stick, and then go through and then finish off with Palo Santo. This, you can start to do blessings and intentions. So what you want to do, it's like with anything, whether you're doing healing on the body, healing in your environment, out with the old and allow the new to come in. So with something like Palo Santo, you want to be setting intentions like bring joy into the home, love, abundance. Basically what you would do is you could go through every room of your home and download that room or that item of furniture with a blessing. How do you want to feel when you're in bed? So if you're struggling with sleep, you want to be burning and clearing and letting go of like sleepless nights, stress and worry and things like that. You want to be bringing in calm, peace, relaxation, rejuvenation, and things like that. So out with the old, bring in the new, and set the intentions while you're doing it, and do it with your Palo Santo. Is this helping everybody? Are you finding it interesting, what I'm talking about? So you do your blessings with your Palo Santo. You can also do yourself as well. Yeah, a lot of healers will do this after every session, but you know me, I do love a pendulum. So I can use pendulums very quickly around. Yes, I'm funny, very interesting, good. I can use pendulums to just shift and change and release that energy as well. So going counterclockwise is clearing. Okay. And then clockwise is activating through there. Where can you buy Palo Santo? I would go on to the beautiful Tracy Peck. So Pina, your Santa. So Tracy actually lives in Mornington, and her business is A Home with Soul. And she has special bundles, and her Palo Santo is ethically sourced. And she has bundles, and she makes up her own incense and spray. So you can just go on and online and order them, or if you're down in her neck of the woods, she also does great workshops and things like that. So check her out, check her website out. She's really, really interesting. So spiritual healer, feng shui expert, and things like that. She's an amazing person. You would have seen that I'd done an interview with her a while ago around feng shui. I think it's in one of your programs, Pina, about that. So yes, so clearing is counterclockwise and activating is clockwise. So you can use pendulums to do the blessings. So, you could go over the bed. You could imagine that you are laying on that bed and you're like, I want to release, negative emotions, negative feelings that are keeping me awake at night. And you just want to be clearing that. and going that all over the bed, say for instance, and then you could use the pendulum to then activate. And I want to bring in peace, calm, joy, connection, rest, rejuvenation, whatever you feel that you need, you can then start to download that. And just imagine that all that beautiful energy is now going onto the bed. You know, in a few weeks, I'm going to be asking everybody, have they done any of this stuff? And if so, how have they got on? So you can use your pendulums. And if you want the Pendulum King, he is in this group. It's Eric Hunter. He does amazing courses on how to use pendulums. And the reason why I use his pendulums and they are metal or they're brass is because you can use crystal pendulums, but crystals hold on to emotions and programs and feelings. So, you know, if you were to, say, for instance, work on the bed and you were doing the clearing, you would do the clearing with the crystal pendulum. Then you would need to clean that crystal with a sage. All right. And then you would do the downloads. You have to keep clearing your crystal pendulums in order to get things like spick and span and crystal clear, if that makes sense. Whereas with Eric's pendulums, you don't need to do any of that. So that's why I can go back to back with clients or working with stuff with the metal, because it doesn't hold the imprint. It literally takes it and it changes everything energetically out onto the quantum field, whereas crystals will absorb stuff and hold on to it. That's why when you have crystals in the home, that you either need to have them reprogrammed for you, or you need to keep clearing them. So another way to create beautiful energy in the home is to have, like I said, crystals. It's also really good. My Theta healers, you just need to order from the US. Yeah, they're quite quick to come, actually, Stephanie, his stuff. Really, really good. Does an amazing service. So crystals, let's talk crystals. Okay, crystals. If you actually, my Theta healers in the group would be good, especially even on the replay. So do #replay and let me know. Have you downloaded one of the crystals in your home for seventh plane energy? Okay, so seventh plane is when you ever listen to my meditations through Theta Heal. If I do a Theta healing meditation, I talk, you know, you go through the bright lights and the dark lights, through the golden light, the rainbow of colors, and then the pink mist, and then into, did you see that glitch then? And then into that tingly white light. We've got angels coming through as well. The tingly white light. When we get into that tingly white light, that is seventh plane energy. That's where healings, manifestations, and all the magic goes on in that seventh plane energy. And in that energy, you want to be downloading a crystal of your home with that energy. So in my free meditations, there's a meditation that says roadmap to the divine. So that takes you up to the divine. So you can imagine that you could do that meditation. You could hold the crystal, whichever crystal you want, and you can imagine that when you're up in that divine, you say out loud, okay, creator, I want this crystal to have your seventh plane energy, and I want it to go all the way through my home and then through to the boundary of my land. That's gold right there. Okay. So that's not my seventh plane crystal, but I just wanted to hold it there as an example. And I actually have that bang in the middle of my home, because the middle of your home is the heart center. So, you know, heart, love, beautiful energy. So my crystal is actually a selenite crystal. It's a round sphere that I have, because I always think, you know, there's the white bubble above your head, you go in and go up. So that's my seventh plane crystal, and it's right in the entrance hall, right in the middle of the home. And that then disperses all the way through. So have any of you heard that? I know, Stephanie, you're Theta healer. Have you ever heard that process? Mark from Co-Creation taught me that. So with crystals, that's why they say, you know, put your crystals out in the moon, make sure you smudge them. Some crystals like water to be cleansed and cleared. because crystals hold imprints. So they're born with imprints from the earth. But also they need to, okay, you've heard that. She said yes. Just checking because some of the comments are coming up on here, but not on that one. Okay. So you can download crystals as well. So when I download a crystal, okay, I use seventh plane energy, but I also use pendulums as well. So the pendulums I set to cleanse and clear, and then I can download my crystals with certain programs. So you can either program them with what they're designed to be. So that's my citrine crystal. So that's all about abundance. So that's been programmed for what it's meant to do, and things like that. Yeah, I could do that with water too. Some like water, some don't like water. So it's quite interesting. Actually, when you do theta healing courses, you actually, in the advanced course, you actually learn to connect in with the crystal and understand what's going on, and then you learn how to actually download your crystals as well. So yeah, so that's my citrine that's been done. You can also download a crystal with whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be what it's destined to be. And sometimes crystals forget, because you're taking them out of their natural environment. Crystals sometimes need to remember who it is and what it is and what it's meant to do. As well. Some crystals also want to go back to the earth. So when I moved here, I had lots of little tumblestone crystals, and I was like, okay, where am I going to put that around the house? And it was like, no, they're not going to go in the house. They're going to go out into the land. So I literally got handfuls of like tumbled crystals wherever I felt called to, and I started throwing them. And I threw quite a lot into the nature reserve, and then some around the plants, and then some around the front of the house. And it's quite interesting because a lot of my plants have all started to grow, because I've taken crystals and I've blessed them and I've put them back into the earth around where I live. So that's another thing that I do. I also set up for my environment that I put an energy grid around the house, because we've moved to Queensland and I do not want any snakes in my garden, because yeah, that was one thing that I was a bit nervous of, especially they have carpet pythons out here. We actually have a carpet python that lives up the street. So I haven't seen her yet, and I don't really want to see her. So I threw crystals out, and I set an intention that they're not going to come around this energy barrier, because I've got 2 dogs as well. So I don't want them to be dinner for the snake. So that's what else I've done. So that's given you some ideas. The other thing that you can do for clearing is use essential oils. So some people, and especially if you've got children or animals that don't like the burning sage, is that you can use essential oils to cleanse and clear your environment and your home. So actually, Minnie bought me this one for Mother's Day, and it's I Am Grounded. So sometimes I just like to buy ones that have been made. Sometimes I like to make my own. I always buy really good quality oils, because some are made with not such great stuff, or they're filled with chemicals and things like that. So incense as well, you can use incense, but once again, you want to make sure that it's like chemical, no tox and things like that, and ethically sourced. Just things along those lines. Same with candles. Candles are a great way for burning, but once again, you want as natural as natural can be, and things like that. So it was interesting. So I'm going to share with you, do any of you do oils? Do you like oils? I used to burn a lot of oils when I had the salon. Okay. Hi Lee, you're here. You're an aromatherapist. Awesome. You might like these cards. Okay, so There's a wonderful woman on Instagram. She's actually, I share my Anne with her. Okay, I don't mind sharing Anne with Jennifer. Her name's Jennifer Jeffries, and she is a naturopath and she's holistic. She has the most amazing social media. She's really interesting in what she tells you and what she teaches you and things like that. But Jennifer has made oracle cards for aromatherapy insight. So basically what you can do with these is that you can actually shuffle them like an oracle deck. You shuffle them and you can tune in to what oils that you should be burning or using, like that. So what's come straight out is clove and tea tree. There we go. So you can see what can support you as well. So they're really good. And then she's got this amazing book that talks about it as well. So what I did this morning was I tuned in and I said, so I asked the question, what is the best oils to support clearing a home and a space, right? So I did that already this morning. And what came out was the most beautiful graphics. There we are. Clary sage, which is interesting. It pops straight out because that's sage. So this one, it came out, it was, it helps with times of emotional and mental confusion, mood swings and indecisions, or just when you feel burnt out and weepy. Clary sage restores harmony and regenerates interest in life, helping you to be clear about what you want and how to get it. Don't be influenced by others. Stay clear and focused as to what you want. So it was quite interesting. This really resonated if you're struggling with resistance. So that came out. There's some other information in there. And the other one that came out, which was quite interesting, was juniper. Okay, can you see the, hang on, get the camera. Okay. And when I read this one, it was talking about preparing for a ceremony. So this is like really lovely for setting up your sacred space. So very priestess. It's about preparing for emotional, physical, and spiritual challenges ahead. By setting your goals, it helps you to focus on releasing negative surprises. And it helps to release the feeling of being dissatisfied. Oh my God, my teeth. And self-doubt, guilt, and low self-esteem that's creeping in. And it helps you to move beyond your limitations. Juniper is also a really good diuretic and detoxifier. So that's that one. Those are the two that came out. But the others, it was tea tree. So that's like cleansing and clearing. And I can't remember what the other one was. So, you know, those aromatherapy cards are really, really good. So that can also help to support you emotionally and clear your spaces at home. So, yeah, Jennifer Jeffries, aromatherapy insight cards. If anyone wants that. Oh, hang on. So it's like I'm opposite. There you are. That's her stuff in there. So yes, sometimes I get called to pick cards for clients. And I also do have the other oracle deck that I have, which I didn't think, and I'm going to say it now. I was using this with a client the other day. I got guided that she needed some crystals within her home. The other one that I use sometimes is the Crystal Oracle deck. Okay. And I ask the same questions. I will shuffle I'll cleanse the cards with the pendulum, and then I'll ask the question, okay, this client needs such and such, which is the crystal that's going to best support her? And then, you know, it will 9 times out of 10 it pops out. Okay, what crystal is going to support me at this time? What do I need? So you don't need a crystal. Okay. So if one flipped out or one popped up, or you're guided, you know, and that would be the crystal that would be supported along there. So that's what else I do. Sometimes you want to move your crystals around the home as well. Plants also is great. Plants are great for creating a beautiful space within your home and cleansing and clearing that. And then what you want to do, as I said earlier, is the downloads around your home. So sit within meditation and sit and think, you know, what do I want to experience around my kitchen table? So, you know, it was interesting. Millie was at school the other day and they were talking, and the teacher had actually asked them, hands up, how many of you actually sit and have dinner with your family every night? And Millie and one other person out the whole class put their hands up. And the teacher was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She said, we sit and have dinner as a family every single night. Because, you know, I have reprogrammed the table that we sit and this is our time to come together. We talk about our day, you know, and things like that. So you can actually reprogram items of your home, your furniture and things like that. So my cooker is downloaded because your cooker is the heart of the home. So it's all about love. So that, you know, you want to manifest love into your life, make sure your cooker's clean. So, you know, I've downloaded the cooker with certain downloads. I've downloaded my fridge with, you know, it's healthy food in there, nutritious food and things like that. What else have I done? So my bed is a sanctuary. You know, it's comfortable, have a good night's sleep, you know, and I literally just go around the house. The sofa downstairs is, you know, coded for my stuff, and I get really grumpy when Andrew sits on it. I'm like, no, that's your chair. This is my sofa. And yeah, so my balcony furniture is about, you know, me having a nice space to meditate and to have, you know, afternoon tea or a nice coffee on the morning, and I can journal and reflect, and I want to feel, you know, where I'm not disturbed and things like that. So, and then my room in here has downloads in it. So my computer has downloads in it, my phone has downloads in it, my website has download. I'll be honest, my website's got, you know, blessings and downloads on it, so that when people, you know, are on my website looking at my stuff and my social media, that I've created a beautiful environment. This group here, I've put downloads in it, so that as soon as you enter into the group, you're feeling seventh plane energy. You know, so I do lots of blessings so that people can feel beautiful energy all the time, you know, when they're here, and you know, when they're engaging in the group and things like that. Oh, saw something fly across the screen. Yes, okay, you're seeing it. I have been working a lot on my psychic abilities. Yes. Yes, orbs, lights and things, yes, come in to play in here. They come and play with us, Stephanie. They come and play. So yes, there are things. I have birds flying. I have butterflies. Actually, the one thing I haven't seen for a while is dragonflies. Has anyone else been? Oh God, car number plates. These last few weeks. Basically, what that's showing me, when I keep seeing car number plates, and I'm not joking, I will like drive past a car 888, 111, 444, this, and I could be driving just for half an hour because I'm taking Rory to golf and back. I will probably see about 20 sequential number plates just in that one trip. So that's actually showing me that manifestations, because I get really excited. I'm like, number plate. Yeah, see that flicker? Number plate. And I get all excited. So what does the universe do? Because you get all excited, it brings you more. So So I do laugh at that. But manifestation is really strong. We've had this shift and this evolution and this letting go of old stories and bringing new in. Okay. So manifestations are happening really quickly. I said, now, when did I do a live not so long ago? And I said, just be really careful of what you're putting out there, because things are becoming really strong and really becoming a reality. So so I hope you found this interesting. I've given you some juicy tips on what I do to create my safe space and an environment. And what's been your biggest takeaway today? What have you enjoyed? And anyone on the replay can pop that in the chat as well. It just gives me a good idea of if you're getting a lot out of what I'm helping you with. Twice now seen. Okay, angels present. Yeah. Clary sage for balance. Oh, clary sage is good for menopause. I like oils but rarely use them. Yeah. I know, I go through stages of using oils. I like to use them in my washing as well, in my washing machine. But I can't use tea tree and things like that in if it's going to go down the drain, because we're on a septic tank here. I've learned a lot today. Perfect. Yeah, you feel my energy on your pages. Yeah. All right. So thank you for all coming and spending your time with me. I much appreciate that, and Stephanie, well done for staying up so late. You're an absolute star. You're a trooper. So yeah, this will go in as a guide and you can come back and watch this at any time. And I would love to know what you're going to declutter. If you want to share some pictures in the group on what you've done, what you've achieved. I'm going to go and sell a sofa now. I said to my husband, that sofa's going to go, and we're going to put the other one up there, and you're going to have a lovely desk in your bookshelf in your office, so all your memorabilia can go in there, so he can have his Zen space. All right, take care, lots of love, have an awesome day, have an awesome sleep, Stephanie. Love you all very much, and just remember I'm here. So lots of love and take care. I've got to try and figure out how to end this now. New technology. Bye for now.